nutrition requirements of animals and demonstrate the role of nutrition in animal health and diet-related diseases. Pretty much, let's go. Right, the history of the breed. Pretty much over the decades of evolving and the years of evolution with donkeys, the species have become primitive ancestors with horses, as well as the welfare, each changing within their environment. And of course, the history of the species as well is that the history behind the breed is that donkeys were the first domesticated around 6,000 years ago in North Africa and Egypt for the meat and milk. Around 2,000 years ago, donkeys were used to carry silk from the Pacific Ocean to the Mediterranean along with the Silk Road in return for trade of goods. So of course it was proven that donkeys were able to be a working animal. But now of course donkeys today are all in shapes and sizes and colours and textures, etc. Pretty much these are the type of breeds of donkeys. Although there are two distinctive species of wild donkeys, let's see, there is the Hinny donkey, which is the result of breeding between a female donkey and a male horse. A Hinny is said to have the body of a donkey and the extremities of a horse. Hinnies are generally smaller than mules, and are less common in mules. Pretty much a Grand Noir du Berry donkey is this breed of a donkey comes from the Berry region of France, and the height of a male ranges from 135 centimeters to 145 centimeters. The next one is the miniature donkey. Pretty much miniature Mediterranean donkeys are a separated breed in their own right, originally hailing from the islands of Sicily, pretty much. And of course try and pronounce it, Poitou donkey. This is a breed of a donkey that has a thick matted coat, which is tangled, and of course which originates from the Poitou regions in France, about 300 miles southwest of Paris. And finally the mule donkey here. This is a breed between a male donkey and a female horse. It is said to have the body of the horse with extremities of a donkey. Mules can range in the height of 36 inches up to 17 hands, depending on the size of the mare and the stallion used. Although the breed, which is being chosen to be talked about in the nutrition assignment, will be, of course, the mule here. So, pretty much, overall, donkeys are natural browsers and will graze up to 16 hours a day on a diet of high fibre and plant materials. Pretty much they are very efficient at metabolizing their food, and therefore their energy requirements are lower than a similar sized pony. This makes them easy to overfeed, which can lead to serious health problems such as hyperlepemia, laminitis, and other organ dysfunctions. Oh, laminitis, sorry. Ideally, donkeys should be fed 1.5% of their body weight in dry matter for maintenance. A donkey at grass will not require more than straw to supplement their grazing, even if they are a lighter work. Pretty much grain, for a mule, it's sometimes classed as the working donkey, of course. If it's known as a working animal, it won't require as much grain as comparable horses. According to some researchers, working mules generally receive up to one third of the grain rations as a similar sized working horse, but much depends on the individual animal and the amount of type of work. Hay is another substrate which is quite useful and very common in eating for donkeys. The majority of mules do tend to just eat the suitable grass outside and within the fields. But of course, although they don't need the rich legumes, hay, such as alfalfa, which is up here, I'm not sure if you can see it, this is the type of substance which they also endure. which mules might consume less quality hay without incident. It's not a good idea to feed any equine poor quality of hay, of course. And finally, if requirements of a good pasture and an accessible place to enable water will enable the mule to take care of the needs. So pretty much a donkey is able to take care of its own needs in any environment if there's water and excessive pastures, hay and grain. Providing with rich grass for suitable mules enables the prevention of laminitis, which is a fatal inflammation of the lamine of the hoof, which is quite common in a few donkeys. Of course, the mules are well known for their sense of self-preservation and pacing themselves with the traits of extending and eating habits. That doesn't mean that they can't become obese. That is pretty much a common problem in donkeys. But yeah. Disorders and diseases. Right. Of course, donkeys are mammals which are a vast and strong species that need many nutrients. Also, they need a lot of calories to keep themselves going on a daily basis. Although, in their natural habitat, donkeys will browse, eating highly fibrous plant materials in small quantities throughout the day, I guess. But of the supplements which provide the donkeys with a quality of fit diet would be straw, hay, high fibrous cues, dried sugar, beet pulp, which helps donkeys who are sick, water, a milk thistle. But of course, there are many disorders and diseases which could affect mule donkeys within a variety of ways. Here is a multiple selection of what the type of disorders could occur towards the animal, which are tetanus, which is of course lockjaw, pretty much is where the skin of the hoof is damaged. Mules or any animals linked within the horse family are at risk of developing tetanus. The tetanus organism lives in the intestinal tract. If a mule is injured or has surgery without prior or recent vaccination against tetanus, it may occur tetanus to become serious or lockjaw. The next one is West Nile virus, which is pretty much a mosquito bite. Flu, which is an equine influenza. I think it's right. Yeah. Well, did I put it on? Oh, didn't put it on. Which is a high fever or dry, hacking cough, depression or weakness, which can link to. Next one would be botulism, which is food poisoning. And pretty much donkeys can become infected by eating bad, rotten or mouldy grain, hay, silage or dead animals that are in the grain or hay. Most affected donkeys can die from within 2 to 3 days. Adenovirus is a disease which presents as a mild cough and breathing disorder. Anthrax is affected horses that have a high fever, colic, swollen areas on the neck, throat and belly, chills and blood from the rectum, followed by fast breathing and staggering, coma and death. This is also related to the donkeys, that's the breed. Right. Tetanus disorder in donkeys, so mule. What causes tetanus? The way tetanus is caused by is bacterium Clostridium tetani, which can be found in soil and droppings just about everywhere. It survives in the environment for long periods of time, and it can enter the body through wounds, particularly puncture wounds if the wound is dirty. Puncture wounds on the sole of the foot are common in most sites of infection. So in figure 2.0, the image is showing a hoof which is pretty bad from tetanus. Actually, it's been there for quite a while, it's disgusting. But pretty much, what are the symptoms of tetanus? What a tetanus does is a toxin which attacks nerves that control the muscle of the body. Yep. So this causes progressively worsening muscular stiffness and spasms. The tail is often held out straight, and the horse develops an anxious expression because of the facial muscle spasm. So in figure 1.9, the mule is finding it difficult to walk because of the stiffness. Can tetanus be treated? Of course, that is the main question. If the animal is diagnosed early, then the treatment is aimed at destroying the bacteria so that more toxins are produced, which means it will reduce the effect of the toxins that have already been produced, and a large dose of antibiotics, i.e. penicillin, are used in conjunction with tetanus antitoxin to be injected inside the animal. And of course, finally, how can tetanus be prevented? Tetanus is a disease which is easily preventable. Vaccinations with tetanus toxoid should be used for equine related. Initially, there should be 2 injections given approximately for 2 to 6 weeks apart, followed by boosters at 2-year intervals. Pretty much good first aid can help prevent tetanus wounds. Should be cleaned as soon as they occur, and the steps should be taken to encourage drainage of deeper injuries. Paddocks, stables and stable yards should be kept safe, clean and clear of dangerous items such as old tractor parts and iron sheets, etc., and the building materials that may occur in injury. And of course, the references. And finally, that is the end of the nutrition donkey slideshow. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and see ya.